Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Dilani and today I'll be reading a poem for you and discussing it from my new book Oddball, which is available on Amazon right now. The poem that I'll be reading for you today is called CRTic, or Nobody Looks at Screens the Way You Do. I look at screens and you look at screens. These old movies are something I crave, my eyes like the nuclear flashes. I'll watch anything, documentaries with the dung beetles rolling, exoskeletons winking at me. I pretend old series are your glasses. With the ease of breathing, I have the frames, frame by frame, for lunch in a bowl with a spoon. I pretend I'm you. It makes it easier to watch politicians on the news, coiffed pompadours and dark swirls of color painted onto old metal so no one gets hurt. I found your old gloves, yanked them on, so I wouldn't get scratched on the edges. It's easier to pretend, glasses, gloves and all. Like old movies still make me grin, but they don't. I hate the lurid frames, they make me sick. I look at you, and you look at screens. CRTic is one of my favorite poems in Oddball because it's short, it's simple, and I had so much fun writing it. I'd like to start by discussing the title, CRTic. I intentionally left out the other I for two reasons. The first is that the title is a reference to CRT, or cathode ray tube TVs, those big old TVs with the giant round backs. The second reason I spelled the title that way is because CRTic is a poem about losing or lacking an identity, and the missing I is representative of that. In the beginning, we see that the speaker and their lover are doing the same thing, looking at screens. In this case, they're watching something together. It is enjoyable for the speaker, and their whole world seems to revolve around consuming media. Viewing, eating, contentment, even breathing. As the poem progresses, we see the speaker lose their identity, and how it is easier for them to embody their lover rather than being themselves, even if it's uncomfortable. At the end of the poem, the speaker stops their consumption of media momentarily and looks at their lover, who is still looking at screens, suggesting how they aren't as invested in the speaker and are instead content to continue their adventures in media alone. The language in this poem is very tentative, with words such as yanked, hate, and scratched, to reflect the speaker's panicked and jittery feelings throughout the poem. This is added to by the structure of the sentences, which vary from shorter to longer. The phrase dark swirls of color are a hint at disguise, and continue the theme of pretense reflected in the media that the speaker is consuming. I used a few puns in this poem, specifically the phrase frame by frame for lunch in a bowl with a spoon. In this case, the word frames can be representative of two things: the frames of glasses and the frames used in media like movies, TV shows, films, etc. I used half rhymes and internal rhymes in the beginning of the poem, and as the poem progresses, these rhymes fade away until there are no rhymes at all in the end. This is representative of the loss of identity and love that the speaker experiences throughout the poem. And those are just a few of my favorite things about the poem CRTic. Feel free to let me know any other things that you spotted, and what other poems you enjoyed in Oddball. Please remember to go check my book out on Amazon, as well as like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.